enough so we can tell the difference between them.
I have two of these. It's black.
Oh, hey, didn't see you there. Did you know that the United States prevented us from unifying with South Korea for over 80 years?
No, I don't.
It's great how North Korea gives us a free and public education.
And we get to learn about the atrocities committed by Western civilization.
Oh, you're just in time. We were just about to watch a televised broadcast of our glorious leader Kim Il-sung addressing us. Hope you have a good time.
Citizens of the Dominion, we have gathered here on May the 24th in the year 2100 to celebrate the magnificence that is our empire. An empire founded on the dreams of one man, our glorious and eternal leader, Kim Il-sung, who envisioned a brighter future for all of mankind, a future of peace, free from the wars and influence of corrupt Western nations, a future of equality where the honest, hard-working man makes his place in society known. And above all else, a future that saw the capitalist pig brought to his knees. A future of perfection. A future that is Korea. And over the years, we have built a society around these beliefs, our values. We've developed into a utopian society that works for the good of all of its citizens. A nation of intelligent, focused individuals who do not concern themselves with the petty squabbles of the Western world. A nation of the people, where all could fall soundly asleep, knowing they have food to eat the next day. A nation free of corruption, where all citizens face equality under the law. A nation of scientific advancement and achievement. And, above all else, a nation to be both feared and respected in the international community. Before long, our military was the fourth largest in the world, and quickly growing. We developed weapons of mass destruction with which we could defend ourselves against those who would seek to destroy us. We built a navy consisting of many thousands of ships to protect our waters that are rightfully ours. Men from the country flocked to the defense of our country, and the world stood in awe. And then on this day, 88 years ago, our selfless and glorious leader, Kim Jong-un, saw the corrupt forces of the West would seek to destroy us and destroy all that we had worked so hard to build. Moreover, he saw the world's people oppressed under the iron rule of corporate slave drivers who worked them to the bone in the name of profit. Wage slaves who toiled on the corruption of the West and worked every day lining the pockets of greedy, selfish individuals. And so a marvelous plan was hatched. A plan to unite the world and guarantee the safety of our people and freedom to the global masses from the evils of capitalism. This plan, codenamed Kim Jong-un's Happy Reunification of Global Friendship and Fun Time III, would change the course of our history forever. A policy of friendliness and tolerance towards our South Korean brothers and sisters in the face of Western oppression, interaction, and opposition, won over our southern brethren, and before long, Korea stood united as one again. International cooperation with other great nations such as Iran, and our cooperation in our scientific pursuits made the world a safer place and granted us access to the weapons we so desperately needed to hold off foreign oppressors who were quick to bring war to the peace-loving Iranian people. The nation of Iran and its brave people paid the ultimate price for their freedom. The nations of the West, fearful of losing their control over the world, turned against our allies and future idealists. They hoped to make an example of Iran, and they hoped to say that the system could not be fought, but instead, they only created a martyr. The Iranian people fought back the only way they knew how, with unconventional means. With our help, cunning, and resources, the Iranian people were able to strike a final retaliatory blow against their aggressor by detonating a nuclear device on the Panama Canal Zone, severely hampering the propulsive, demeaning operation the West calls capitalism. North Korea, the loyal, honorable nation that we know we are, came to the aid of our allies, while the brave Iranian people fought the capitalist aggressors on their homelands, who were desecrating the sanctity of their homes. Our own brave soldiers engaged the enemy's co-conspirators in East Asia, liberating islands previously run by corrupt Western sycophants, and disrupting the enemy economy. Yet another obstacle would attempt to challenge us and stand in the way of our great nation. A new plague, unlike any seen before, began to infect the great powers of the world. China, Russia, Japan, India, Europe, and America all suffered at the hands of this crippling virus. Yet our hardy and resilient people weathered the storm, contained the spread, and used our collective intelligence to manufacture a cure for our people. The morality and sanctity of the world began to crumble around us, as India and Pakistan added to global tensions and instability by beginning a pointless and deadly war. Tensions between China and Russia also came to a head, as Russia sought blood for senseless and deplorable Chinese terrorist attack on the capital in Moscow. Our leaders saw this chaos. We saw it was beginning to spiral out of control, and we acted quickly to stabilize the region. The newly reconstructed and rearmed People's Liberation Army entered Indochina to stabilize the region, ensure the safety of its people. And holding true to their high moral standards, they continued their hardships into India, where they liberated the Indian people from the rule of these maniacs. It was then that the East Asian Dominion was formed to collectively protect and ensure the safety and happiness of all of East Asia's people, not just our own. However, some nations were forced by foreign powers and corrupt leaders into denying our generous offer. Our military was left no choice but to liberate said nations with the use of force. It wasn't long before the Americans intervened in Japan to keep control over the region, and although our military put up a valiant opposition, we were forced off the island by fanatical American troops, who raped and pillaged Japanese villagers on their way through the island, as our soldiers gave their last in front of them. It wasn't long, however, before the feeble-minded American public began to oppose the Asian wars. Unlike our resilient and determined peoples, the Americans had no stomach for a long-term and protracted conflict. When it came to their ideals, they were willing to throw them all out the window for the sake of putting 5 cents less at a gas pump. All the while, our people endured. We worked harder than ever before, and even more determination flowed through our hearts. Before long, we had rebuilt all that we had lost. We opened ourselves to the world once again to share the peace and prosperity that is North Korean lifestyle. We never lost sight of our goal, however, and we continued our expansion and spread our beloved Marxism to our allies in the Middle East. With our forces so close to the borders, the weak-minded European nations quickly folded, seeking a way to save themselves. After their surrender, we began the process of re-education of these nations, and our administrators supervised proper communist reform. The former Soviet Union offered a respectable challenge, but after victory was achieved, we steered them back on the true path of Marx. And now I, Kim Al-Welsoon, stand before you as the newly elected Vice Co-Presidential General Secretary Supreme Advisor of our great empire. We have overcome all who have stood against us, all the nations who once spat in our direction, fell one by one at the hands of freedom and liberation. And now you, the graduating class of Kim Jong-il Technical High School, prepare to enter the world. It is with you that our hopes for the future lie. Never forget your morals, our morals, for it is with your help that we can make the peace last. And when you are ruled by a God,
Wait, what?
me.
No! 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 No!
what could possibly go wrong?